Welcome to Whistleblowers in partnership with Wix Trade Pro. Welcome to Whistleblowers, the bonus ball. As always, Mark Clattenburg is here, dressed like a Zara advert for men of a certain age.
This is not Zara outfit, by the way.
Is it the man from
It's
Del
one of
Monte?
them. No, I made a mistake on my Instagram.
Did you?
I put something in and now I get the same adverts coming through constantly. And they do what they normally do. The hook is in.
And that's you. But when he leaves today, he's off to Safari.
I watch a guy on Instagram who, because I once watched it and now watch it all the time. I watch a guy who trims cows' hooves.
Yeah.
What did you put in to get that?
Scottish. The Hoof GP.
Absolutely minted, by the way.
Yeah,
they're buying Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all sorts. That couple.
Really?
I'm not kidding you.
He's just got a very bad injury.
Oh no!
To his hand. Yeah, he had an accident at work.
Good.
He currently can't do his content. But yeah, there is something hypnotic about watching close-ups of guys trimming cows' hooves. So I watched him, the Hoof GP, who's Scottish. And I watched a guy in America who's called Nate.
I can't take you seriously.
A guy in America is called Nate the Hoof Guy.
What about camels' hooves?
Oh my word!
Did you ever watch any footage of those?
What do you mean camel toe?
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen them hoofs.
Not even the right.
Is that a different thing? Is it?
I believe so. Yeah.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Google it. But that is.
I know what he means.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It's like that's what Instagram and TikTok does. It kind of gives you something. If you show a little bit of interest, it floods you. Now I can't go a day now without watching the Hoof GP. And
I'm going to put it in and see what comes up.
Don't do it. You've just heard the voice of Ian Ladyman there.
It gets worse, doesn't it?
It does get worse.
It really does get worse.
Right, boys. On the bonus ball, we always get a good question, and Chris has been in touch with two questions. The first one is, when's Andy Dillon coming back? Ian,
much more hoof chat from me. Probably in about 10 minutes.
I was laughing the other day. Andy Dillon, I had a recollection of a son Christmas party, and they were feral occasions. But I remember Andy Dillon having a dance off with another lad I work with called Derek Brown, and Andy could do the worm.
Oh, he can do the worm.
He can dance.
It's extraordinary. He can still do it.
He's an impressive dancer. He can move.
He can still do it. I've seen him do it recently, actually, at his wife's 50th. Is what?
Oh, Jesus.
His wife's 50th. Hannah's 50th. A couple of years ago, at some place in Wimbledon, he did it there. And I've seen him do it at a wedding. It's really annoying because he's really good at it,
isn't he?
Yeah, I really don't like it.
Podcast
so we'll have to bring him back just for the worm.
Yeah,
he keeps
Chris
ringing me. Rings me more now than he has for 10 years.
He does, yeah.
I think just checking if I haven't got any more kind of major family engagements to go to, so he can step in.
Do the worm as well. Yeah. The second question is a bit more serious. I always look forward to transfer deadline day, says Chris, even if it's anticlimactic every time. But I do wonder what it must be like for the journalists who go up and down the country following leads and stories. Is it like Christmas come early for you guys, or is it something you dread every time, Ian Ladyman?
Look, it's no, it's not fun. It's not fun. Luckily, I'm not massively involved in it these days, but I used to be when I was covering the Manchester clubs and that. And especially when the money started to come into... I mean, look, United were always likely to do something because they always had money. And City then came into money and they started to do it. And I'd be lying if you say you enjoy it because you want to get through it unscathed. Probably like most Premier League clubs do. You want to get through the window unscathed, don't you?
Neil Custer's stealing the story ahead of you.
No, absolutely. And of course it changed. When I was first doing it 25 years ago, it changed really because you were only working towards a newspaper deadline. Mm-hmm. So essentially, any deals that happened
glory days
during the day, you just reported on them. Of course, now, it was first of all the internet and then, of course, social media, the people who are very, very good at this stuff can just break a story in an instant. So you might even have it.
Who's the best at it now?
Still
Fabrizio Romano.
So Morano is good at it. David Ornstein is very good at it. Sammy Mottabell, once of this parish, is very good at it.
I speak to Sammy fairly regularly on BBC.
Yeah. Great lad, Sammy. But we have people on our own staff. Simon Jones, our own transfer expert, is very, very good at it. A lot of Simon's information often appears under other people's bylines, so he can keep his contacts to himself.
Fair play.
Simon's excellent at it.
That's real. That takes a lot for a journalist to be able to do that.
Yeah, Simon does that a lot. Craig Hope's very good at it. Many others. So it's it is a bit of by the seat of your pants day, the last day of the window. The summer one worse than the January one. The January one doesn't tend to be as...
Jim Whitt with the yellow tie on Sky's the thing of the past, really, isn't it?
Harry Redknapp.
Yeah.
Getting his usual
out the window for the car.
I think one of the best stories I had from transfer deadline day was Vittoria Wingy leaving to go from...
QPR?
Was it Stoke to QPR?
Yeah.
And he was on his way down. It's like you just couldn't write it, could you?
Brilliant.
But it showed recently, Mark Gay, I noticed, was quoted as talking about how close he was to joining Liverpool in the summer. He was actually in the MRI scanner.
Yeah, I heard that,
having his medical for Liverpool when he realised it wasn't going to happen. I mean, you could argue, obviously, it's turned out okay for him in the end. He's at City. It's not turned out very well for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Those things can happen at the last minute. And yeah, again, from my point of view, that the problem now, well, not the problem, but the way it is now with social media is even if you've got a story, you can think you've got a story, and 5 minutes later it's not yours anymore.
You'll hate this question, Ian, but is there one that you got spectacularly wrong?
Oh.
The famous Daily Mirror story was about, I think Piers Morgan was the editor. I think it was about Paul McCartney having a baby with Heather Mills, and they splashed.
She was on my flight on last week.
Was she really?
Yeah.
No, they splashed "It's a boy," and then the next edition, "It's a girl."
Oh.
So you can be really exposed if you get it wrong.
Chance to get that.
Yeah.
It's only a 50-50 chance, isn't it?
In answer to your question, no. Probably think of one once the show's finished. No, but that's because I've never really been brave enough from that point of view. I was always very cautious. If I didn't think something was absolutely nailed, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So, and that can cause problems for you as well, because there's definitely been some that I should have done that I didn't. That one I told you about previously about when I got the tip about Ronaldo going from Real Madrid to Juventus that I didn't write. Yeah. But no, not a spectacular one that I got wrong. But I remember City, when City signed Robinho from Real Madrid, 2008, I think, again, just when the Abu Dhabi money had arrived. And because Abu Dhabi Sheikh Mansour bought City right at the end of the August window, 2008. And City literally had about a day to spend as much money as possible. This is before financial rules were in place. They could just spend. And they tried to hijack United's signing of Berbatov from Tottenham. Failed. They talked about a lot of other big names, and they got Robinho. Yeah. But there's a story about that was that City were not set up to deal at this level. The record signing before that was maybe someone like Nicolas Anelka, 10 million quid or something. And all of a sudden they're going to spend like whatever it was on one of the best players in the world, Brazilian superstar. But they've got a kind of admin department of about 2.5 people, and in the end, there was a club secretary at the club, and the head of comms at the time, a great girl and a great friend of mine called Vicky Kloss, no longer at the club.
Oh, Vicky,
and it was up to
brilliant.
And they said to Vicky, Bernard Holford, the secretary at City, no longer with us, bless him, said to Vicky, you need to fax this offer to Real Madrid, 50 million quid, whatever it was, for Robinho, and you've got to do it now because we've only got about 5 minutes. So that wasn't Vicky's job, right? Yeah. She was a comms officer, okay, but she said, do it now, right? So she did it, and in her haste, she put the bit of paper. It was old days, right? It was typed out. And then it was put in the fax, and she put it in upside down. She put it in upside down. So Manchester City's record bid for Brazilian superstar Robinho was received at the other end by perplexed Real Madrid officials as a blank piece. Oh, no. Why have we got a blank piece of A4 from Manchester City? Yeah. And look, the deal got...
story.
And it's a true story. Yeah. Vicky will tell it you herself. Yeah. When she eventually writes her book, it'll be in there. They got the player. Now, whether that turned out to be a good thing or not, I don't know, because he bombed really. But they got the player.
Do you know, I've just...
all facts.
Yeah, that's incredible.
But then David De Gea from United to Madrid fell down on the back of a dodgy fax about 10 years later. Yeah. I mean, what a kibosh for a career that was for him.
You tried to get a receipt, didn't you?
Yeah.
He said it said okay, and you were like, thank God. Yeah, because we used to have to send Champions League. We would have to send a fax of the match report to the UEFA.
That's wild.
Before it all went computerised, and you were like panicking because you had this report with you, and you were worrying about faxing it back at the hotel, and most of the times you didn't get all the pages. So you would like, maybe the document was 8 pages and there would only be 6 pages got to your way, and you're like, oh no, you feel like you're going to get into trouble.
Now, before we hear some more of Mark and Ian's thoughts, we're in partnership with Wix Trade Pro, and for any tradespeople out there, this one is for you.
That's right, because Wix Trade Pro is here to save you time and money.
Save 10% every time you shop in store or online. There's no minimum spend, no hassle, just savings.
Amazing. And what's more, Wix Trade Pro want you to start the new year off right.
That's why they've introduced Smart Water, the award-winning forensic marking technology that's proven to deter tool thieves and make your gear traceable and recoverable. And all it takes is 3 simple steps.
That's right. First, mark your tools with the applicator and solution provided. Then place the deterrent signage on windows and doors before registering your marked tools so they can be identified. If only VAR made things that easy.
You're telling me.
To sign up and start saving, just download the Wix Trade Pro app today.
Talking about missing stories, like I think it's safe to tell this now after all these years, but there was nothing worse. So in newspapers, you have morning conference at 11 o'clock where all the heads of the department deliver their stories for the next day. And I remember sitting down in the sports editor's top of his list, and I was like, oh shit, I knew that 3 days ago, but it was a massive night out and I'd forgotten. They were the worst ones. And it was Henrik Larsson at Man United.
Yeah.
I'd been out with somebody who played with Henrik Larsson. He said, you know, I think Henrik's going to Man United. I remember sitting there going, shut up. Of course he's not.
Those are the ones. Those are the ones.
And I remember sitting there going, oh, I missed a great story there. I was so pissed off.
When I was on...
What a player. Yeah.
When I was on local papers, I remember when I was on the Nottingham Post covering Forest, you'd always get every transfer window. Yeah. You'd be sitting in the office and your landline would go, hello, and it'd be some guy saying, I've just seen Jurgen Klinsmann at the City Ground. I've just seen Jurgen Klinsmann driving into the City Ground. Yeah. And you think, yeah, all right, mate, whatever. And you put the phone down and you think, well, I'm going to have to go, aren't I? Because I'm going to have to go. Because even this guy might be the same nutter who calls me every year. Last year it was Roberto Baggio. Now it's Jurgen. I've got to go because there's that 0.05% chance that it's right.
See, now all the journalists are watching the flights, the private jets on those where the private jets are going.
I watched, I think I might have mentioned this last week, but I watched an interview, Charlie Mulgrew, the ex-Celtic player, good player Charlie. He does a golf series now and he was interviewing Henrik Larsson. Did I tell you this last week? And I was watching this interview. I find him fascinating, Henrik Larsson. I think he was a great player, even though I'm a Hibs fan. I was at his debut, and he came on as a sub after about an hour for Celtic at Hibs. He gave the ball away with his first touch to Chick Charnley, who was about 402 years old, and he absolutely lamped one in with his left foot into the top corner. And we were all like, Larsson, shit, he's rubbish. Anyway, I was watching this interview, and it was a beautiful sunny day when they were doing the interview, and you could see that huge lump on his leg. Remember when he broke his leg?
Oh, yeah.
A really nasty one. And I was just thinking, God, to come back from that injury and do what he did. I mean, it was a horrific... It was like that Luke Nillis one for Villa. Do you remember?
I was at that game.
Oh, my God. I still have nightmares about it.
At Ipswich.
Oh, still have nightmares about it. What a player he was as well.
So that was, just for those who don't know, that was Richard Wright, the former Arsenal and England goalie who was playing at Ipswich at the time. Who it was a 50-50 and he snapped.
Ended his career, didn't he?
Belgian.
Belgian player. Yeah, good player as well.
Yeah, finished.
But I remember, so Larsson, I think it might be the end of his career, yeah. But I remember seeing that Larsson injury that night, and we were in the dressing room the next day getting ready to play, and the boys said, did you see, we're talking about it, and half an hour later I was in an ambulance with the same injury.
Oh yeah, you said,
And I just remember thinking, it took me, I think, 18 months to play again, and he was back within 7 months from that injury.
I remember
amazing.
With a group of us, we collared Richard Wright in the car park after that game, like you used to be able to. You can't do that now. Collared him in the car park, and his quotes were just like, "Yeah, you know, these things happen," and we were like, "He hasn't realised. No. He doesn't know. He clearly didn't know the extent of the injury. You know, Richard, without a doubt, did not mean anything by that. He clearly just hadn't computed the extent of the injury." Back to transfers, it's changed so much now. Told you that, you know, players are very much in control of their own destinies. The best players are, anyway. The best players didn't used to be. I've told you this story before about Lee McCarry being put in a car in Glasgow and being told he's going to England and he's signing for a big club, and he wasn't told which one it was until he got out in Liverpool. It was going to be Liverpool, and then United hijacked it. Well, I was listening to John Barnes, a hero of mine when I was a kid, not giving away who I support, on the Gary Neville podcast this week. Not really just going to sit here and point people towards other podcasts, but I don't see why not. It was a fabulous listen, great interview, and Barnes talking about going from Watford to Liverpool, and they were asking him about whether how he felt about it, and he said, I didn't know anything about it. He said, I didn't drive that. He said we were playing under Graham Taylor, we were doing well, and then all of a sudden I was told that I would go to Liverpool at the end of the season, and that Luther Blissett would go to Milan at the end of the season, and that was it. As far as I was concerned, I was going to Liverpool.
Wow.
And he was, and that's now. I presume that within all that there would have been some wriggle room to say no. Yeah, that was just the way it was done.
Isn't it?
Graham said, "You're going to Liverpool, son, but it's not now.
Yeah,
it's going to be at the end of the season, and you'll go. It's good for you. It's good for Liverpool, and it's good for Watford because we get some decent dough." And that's obviously so different to the way that it is now.
I finally found the time to watch the Kenny Dalglish documentary on Amazon the other day, and it was absolutely brilliant. But he talks a bit about that moment when they signed John Barnes, had that next iteration of the Liverpool team, and how he came in and just lifted it again for them.
Barnes, Beardsley,
Aldridge.
Yeah, what a team.
Extraordinary.
What a team.
Barnes, Beardsley, Aldridge. Extraordinary.
Yeah, brilliant
signing.
Extraordinary.
Yeah. Incredible.
Kenny Dalglish, though, again, what a phenomenal documentary that was. Loved it.
I've not seen it, actually.
It's brilliant.
I started it in the kitchen one day, got distracted and not put it back on. Yeah. That there was that gag, wasn't it? Because obviously Aldridge came to Liverpool from, and I can't remember, from Oxford, I think.
Aldridge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oxford.
Would have been, yeah.
Came to, and Ian Rush, the great Ian Rush, went to Juve. And there was that joke that because they looked vaguely similar, that they sent the wrong one because Rush bombed in Italy and Aldridge, smashed the lights out in Anfield. The Italians thought they got the wrong one. They've sent us Aldridge and kept Rush.
It's a brilliant story. Right, brilliant. See you, gentlemen. We'll catch up again next week. Remember to email us like Chris did, whistleblowers@dailymail.com if you'd like to ask a question, and find us on socials. Right, Mark, you've not got your whistle, have you?
No.
Good. Just make a noise there.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for watching Whistleblowers. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, episodes every Thursday and Tuesday, and on a Sunday, you'll get our clip of the week.